We're coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios. This is Prime News on SABC 3. Let's have a look at the headlines with these stories.
Been here since morning. I've probably only moved about 10 meters.
Been complaining. Even last year people have been complaining. Even they say it's still the same procedure.
Frustration turned into determination as thousands of Gauteng parents queued outside the district offices for the Gauteng Department of Education to secure school placements for their children for this year.
Countries that have embarked on climate action strategies have found that those interventions do finally yield economic growth.
President Cyril Ramaphosa has wrapped up his visit in the United Arab Emirates.
The witness here, the applicant telling the other two, speaking in Zulu, saying, "Nah, Wolomont."
And the Johannesburg Magistrates Court has heard of how the man accused of involvement in DJ Waras's murder staked out the area with two other men, including the alleged shooter, while the popular DJ was trying to install security upgrades in the hijacked building where he was killed last year. At the back of those headlines, it's just gone 8 o'clock. Good evening and a warm welcome to Prime News on 3. I am Colette Now. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. As per usual, plenty in store for you. Without further ado, let's dive right in, starting with this. Frustration turned into determination as thousands of Gauteng parents queued outside district offices for the Gauteng Department of Education to secure school placements for their children for this year. From the early hours, they lined up at the local education offices seeking answers and solutions amid challenges such as no or delayed communication, missing documents, and relocation hurdles.
King queues as hundreds of frustrated parents braved the scorching sun on Tuesday, pleading for assistance in securing school placements before the academic year begins. Many parents insist they followed all required admission procedures, yet their efforts appear fruitless. Some are even calling for the online application system to be scrapped.
I've been here since morning. I've probably only moved about 10 meters.
Been complaining. Even last year people have been complaining. Even they say it's still the same procedure. So I think the department should just go back to the old system whereby we worked in schools, applied at schools, and because that works so much better than this online thing.
The situation is causing anxiety for the affected learners.
It makes me feel upset, and applying on this online thing, it's really not working for us.
The online admission has got all its flaws along the way. We'd say as the Professional Educators Union, the schools are not ready. Even with the starting of the school tomorrow, we are not ready.
However, the department maintains that it is finalizing the placement process and is fully aware of the specific areas that require attention.
We know where we are pressured, that is Ekurhuleni, Johannesburg, and also we have the inner grades that are a challenge. I mean, we can see in a school that we are at here, there's a queue of parents that want their children to come here.
Some desperate parents ended up accepting those schools that were offered by the department for their children, fearing that if they don't take them, their children might end up staying at home for the whole year. Others say they were told to come back after 10 days to check with the department if there's a space at school of their choice. Calvin Dludla, SABC News, Gauteng.
Meanwhile, the Gauteng MEC for Education, Sports, Arts, Culture and Recreation, Matume Chilwane, has moved to address concerns following reports of exam irregularities involving 26 learners accused of copying during the 2025 Matric examinations. Chilwane has rejected any suggestion that the Gauteng Department of Education was responsible for the alleged misconduct. The MEC was speaking at Telkom Park in Centurion, where he was announcing Gauteng's 2025 Matric results and top achievers.
I know some were worried about that scandal that took place around, I think we had about 26 learners who are accused of copying. They were caught with a memo But it's not a GDE problem, by the way. I repeat, we have nothing to do with it. Actually, Member Dos Santos, we are the ones who caught a problem. Our markers are the ones who identify that something is wrong. That why are these learners' marks are like this, word for word? So we're the one who alerted DBE of a problem. But the problem, the issue is at DBE level, not Gauteng.
Keeping with Matric results, previously disadvantaged public schools continue to challenge the notion that only former Model C schools can produce strong Matric results. Solridge Secondary School in Atteridgeville, west of Pretoria, is one such example, achieving a 100% pass rate and contributing to the record-breaking national pass rate of 88% for the class of 2025.
There was jubilation at Solridge Secondary School after the announcement of a 100% Matric pass rate.
We are here in Atteridgeville. We have 100% to celebrate. And among the learners, there are those that would have been progressed. A story that we also want to say, I mean, if we progress, or when we introduce the progression, we knew that you want to motivate those learners that would have been retained. But now they are progressed and they are giving us wonders.
Most learners achieved bachelor's and diploma passes, with only a few obtaining higher certificate passes. Progressed learners also exceeded expectations.
Being a progressed learner, I would say for many, those who as if like they don't deserve it at first. But I pushed and I did extra. I attended extra classes and everything, and yeah, clock it.
I changed my study method. From grade 11 to grade 12, you start to realize that the method that you used in grade 11 will no longer work for you in grade 12.
The school principal credits collaboration and dedication for the school's success.
If the adults in an institution have a positive relationship, they love one another, they take care of one another, they respect one another, that is one recipe of achieving good results. Because it will enforce collaboration, and with collaboration we can, patch up our weaknesses through each other.
KwaZulu-Natal recorded the highest provincial pass rate at just under 90%, followed by the Free State at 89.33%. Gauteng placed third with 89.06%. Offense Estimo, SABC News, Atteridgeville.
And in Cape Town, Silikamva High School at Hout Bay has made history with its 100% Matric pass rate. The school has over the years steadily improved from a low of 40% in 2019. Management says hard work, perseverance, and a will to succeed is key to achieving outstanding results.
A day to celebrate. Staff and students could not hide their excitement as the class of 2025 made history. It's the first time since its inception that Silikamva High School has achieved a 100% pass rate.
It really means a lot for the school. It is marking the beginning of even more great things to happen here at Silikamva, and most importantly, inspiring the class of 2026 to do even more and even better for themselves.
I got 4 distinctions in life science, life orientation, Xhosa home language, and history. And I'm planning to do civil engineering.
Achieving 100% is the best thing ever. This is something that we've been trying to achieve all this time, and finally we got it.
Their results have been lauded by the Provincial Education Department, which has scored its highest percentage Matric pass rate since the inception of the National Senior Certificate.
So proud of the Matric class of 2025 with the highest Matric pass rate ever, as you say, at 88.2%, but also the highest bachelor's pass rate ever at 49.2%, which of course is a strong indicator of quality passes in education here in the Western Cape.
Education authorities say the province has also achieved the highest mathematics and second highest physical science pass rate in the country. Vanessa Puna, SABC News, Cape Town.
When we return, the Free State Department of Education says it is not taking anything away from the class of 2025, which achieved an 89.3% matric pass rate and a 43% bachelor's pass rate, commending learners for working hard for their results. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. The Free State Department of Education says it is not taking anything away from the class of 2025, which achieved an 89.3% matric pass rate and a 43% bachelor's pass rate, commending learners for working hard for their results. The pass rate marks a slight decline from the class of 2024, which recorded a historic 91% overall pass rate and a 48.2% bachelor's pass rate.
We need to celebrate this result because we have worked hard throughout the year. Yes, there were challenges. We have a drop in mathematics, we have a drop in accounting, but we don't want to make any excuses. All we are saying that we need to come back and look at those challenges, especially on mathematics, on accounting, as to how do we zoom in and make sure that we improve on those results.
With that number, we must be happy that we have achieved more than 90%. So we are still, a silver school. But the target then is to become a gold school where you can get, 100% with this kind of a role, where you have about 350 every year of learners, sitting for examination. But we know how to carry the weight. Yeah, we know how to carry the weight at 350. We are used to it. But we are very happy where you are.
From St. Mary's Secondary School in Mahikeng in the Northwest Province has defied the odds to pass his National Senior Certificate exams with a bachelor's pass in 2025. Kamakalo Motaung was partially blind and battling to keep up with his matric studies, but the kindness of strangers gave him hope.
What began as a desperate struggle in a grade 12 classroom has become a powerful story of hope, generosity and resilience. Kamogelo Motaung's life changed after his cataracts were removed by Dr. Tebogo Maleka and his team. Now he can celebrate his good results.
My results are awesome. Bachelor is not easy to get, even though I didn't do as I planned, but this showed me that I have more potential and I can do even more.
The period leading up to his surgery was one of the most difficult times for his family, and they are grateful to all those who helped them.
It was difficult before he received help. When he was supposed to read, though the lights were on, he would use a cell phone torch to see better.
I do not
know what to say because my mother used to say God is not stupid. God does wonders. I want to thank Ms. Kong because after listening to our problem as parents, she went to social media seeking help. At least our children have passed. It's not like I am crying. These are tears of joy because our child has done well.
Meanwhile, the Northwest Province has secured 4th place nationally with an 88.49% matric pass rate for the class of 2025. Thabang Murutlwa, SABC News, Mahikeng.
To this now, the Johannesburg Magistrates Court has heard of how the man accused of involvement in DJ Waras's murder staked out the area with 2 other men, including the alleged shooter, while the popular DJ was trying to install security upgrades in the hijacked building where he was killed last year. This is the evidence of the investigating officer who took the stand in opposing the bail-off accused, Victor Majola.
So Captain Abi Montwedi, the investigating officer, says Majola, who faces premeditated murder and conspiracy to commit murder charges, orchestrated DJ Waras's murder and even pointed out the deceased to 2 other men, including the shooter. And this was before DJ Waras was gunned down.
On the 16th December 2025, the deceased arrived in the flat to install cameras. And unfortunately, there were vendors that are selling cigarettes and sweets on the street. That is when the applicant and 2 other guys came. They sit there for almost 45 minutes. That's when the deceased came out of the flat went into the car while talking on the phone. And the witness heard the applicant telling the other two, speaking in Zulu, saying, "Nah, Golomuntu."
Well, Captain Montwedi says phones confiscated also revealed further damning details, which contained, amongst others, DJ Waras's car details and other personal particulars. Machola's girlfriend, who was a resident of the hijacked building, police also claim was amongst the people who threatened Waras after the DJ was roped in to recover that hijacked building.
I do not know the deceased, nor any of those people who came into that in that flat. I had no contact with him before. My girlfriend and I were vehemently assaulted by the police at an open space in Deep Kloof. From the time of arrest in the early hours of the morning till about 12 p.m. They covered my face, choked me, and assaulted me with hands and unknown objects. As I already instructed my lawyer before, I wish to offer my deepest condolences to the family of the deceased, Mr. Warwick Stock. I did not kill the deceased, neither was I involved in the planning of his killing. I want them to know that I did not commit this crime, and I deny the allegations against me. This is a case of mistaken identity.
Well, police are also claiming that the address Machola gave authorities he'd only stayed at 3 days before his arrest and was in hiding. His legal team has denied this. Crisalda Lewis, SABC News at the Johannesburg Magistrates Court.
Here's what to expect after a short breather. President Cyril Ramaphosa has wrapped up his visit in the United Arab Emirates. Those details coming up after the break. Thank you for staying with us. To this now, President Cyril Ramaphosa says Africa has a huge potential when it comes to energy generation. He took part in a head of a state panel discussion on the vision for global energy at Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week in the United Arab Emirates. The UAE's second largest city is a hive of activity as delegates also focused on accelerating bankable and scalable infrastructure investment across the global south.
As a number of countries are prioritizing energy transition, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has nailed his colors to the mast, saying climate action and economic growth should go hand in hand.
I see this as not being mutually exclusive. The two have to be seen as mutually reinforcing, because you can have climate action and at the same time have economic growth. And in fact, countries that have embarked on climate action strategies have found that those interventions do finally yield economic growth.
Nigerian President Bola Tinubu has echoed the sentiment, saying the global community should not turn a blind eye to these challenges.
The theme of this year's summit, the nexus of NECT, on-system go, underscores the urgency and integration required to substantiate a sustainable transition across finance, technology, energy, and human capital.
The gathering seeks to ignite impactful dialogues and bold ideas and deliver solutions to advance sustainable development across the globe. Khalihle Khumalo, SABC News, Johannesburg.
And now here's the latest market update as recorded at 7:30 this evening. Now for your sports update. Just about a month ago, 24 nations traveled to Morocco with a shared goal to be crowned Africa Cup of Nations champion. Now only 4 teams are left standing and the matchups promise to produce fireworks. Wednesday's semi-finals fixtures 7-time champions Egypt and Senegal, who clash in the first match, after which hosts Morocco take on Nigeria in the capital Rabat.
Nigeria last won the AFCON title in 2013 on South African soil under the stewardship of the late Stephen Keshi. They beat Burkina Faso 1-0 at a packed FNB Stadium in Johannesburg. In the 2023 edition, they went all the way to the final and scored first against Ivory Coast. However, Sebastian Haller was the hero for the Ivorians as the Elephants came from behind to beat Nigeria 2-1 on home soil.
Cross in, Haller got a little foot ahead of Trusley-Cole. That is a fabulous goal.
The Super Eagles have the hunger to go all the way this year, and based on form, very few will bet against them achieving that goal. In the other semi-final, Egypt will be hoping to go all the way and eventually add to their 7 titles. They were last crowned the AFCON champions in 2010, when they won a 3rd consecutive title. They will have to deal with the physicality of Senegal, who have been one of the more consistent performers in recent years. The Senegal-Egypt match in Tangier kicks off at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, followed by the Nigeria-Morocco encounter at 10. For SABC News, I am Mduduzi Ndlovu.
Wondering what the weather has in store for us? Well, wonder no more as we hand over to the weather desk for the latest in temperature changes. Stay tuned for the details.
A very good evening to you. Let's take a look at all your weather details. Clear skies overnight in the Western Cape with southeasterly winds blowing at 30 kilometers an hour. Partly cloudy skies and isolated showers expected through the central parts of South Africa. But please be on the lookout for the continuous widespread rainfall in the north and eastern parts of South Africa. That continues in towards Wednesday with more showers expected, whilst we are expecting isolated showers through the east coast of the country and isolated rainfall activity through the central and northwestern parts of South Africa as well. A cold front approaching the Western Cape, bringing with it some isolated showers in and around Cape Town. Otherwise, hot conditions are expected to prevail in and around the Northern Cape and in towards the western parts of the Free State. Be on the lookout, though, for those level 9 and 6 warnings of disruptive rainfall and severe thunderstorms through parts of Polokwane and Mpumalanga and ahead towards Wednesday. Similar trend in the northeast of South Africa. Take care with all that rainfall and be careful when driving around, especially crossing rivers. We've got hot, dry, windy conditions again in the Northern Cape, southwards in towards the Western Cape and adjacent Free State provinces. That could lead to veld fires, whilst Uppington drops to 23 overnight, Cape Town down to 17, East London dropping to 20, Richards Bay 22 this evening, Johannesburg 15 and warming up to a maximum of 26 on Wednesday afternoon. Polokwane up to the same with Mbombela warming up to 24 degrees. A hot day in store for the east coast of South Africa. 31 is expected in Durban tomorrow. Gqeberha up to 28 along the south coast. Very hot conditions expected in the Northern Cape though. Uppington up to 40 degrees with Beaufort West up to 37 in the south. Sutherland up to about 29 degrees and Cape Town up to a maximum of 28 on Wednesday afternoon. That's it from me. Take care. Have a good evening.
We leave it here for tonight. Thank you for joining us. Let's meet again next time. Good night for now. God bless. Pula.